All right, so today's video, we're watching a gold 4 Kiriko who says they have a lot of their games like this where they take the lead, but they can't hold on to the lead. So you start off strong as a team, and then you just don't win the game. They think that it's because of their tank, but also because of their position. So they're looking at their tank saying it's on their tank, but they're also saying that their position is a part of the problem too. So it's more of like, they feel like it's both of them. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It is quite frequent to have that happen, and a lot of time, if you start off strong as a team, whether it's on defense or attack, I find that most of the time it's because people's positioning starts to get worse and worse, or the other team outstacks. So, if you want to go like deep into like how you get better at that, once you recognize that your team is dominating, or your Doomfist stands in the middle of the open, gets hooked by the Roadhog, once you start to get to a certain point of like dominating them, you also have to be like, wait a second. Also, you need to be with your team right now. You might be like, wait a second, like, they have 5 ultimates, we need to play this differently. And a lot of people don't do that, and then after that happens, you get snowballed. Right? Part of that is trying to get your teammates committed to that idea. Because when you're dominating so well, it's like, well, do you change up how you're playing? You don't have to change up how you're playing, you just need to change up, like, make them have to work for the elims of those ultimates, so they have to use as many as possible. All while stopping, like, the card. The clan's position is fine right now. Immediate swap to Orisa. Keep your Orisa up. By the way, this is something they were like, in that situation when you're up in numbers, but there's still a hog there, just spam your Orisa up with heals. You tried a little bit of like getting the damage on the hog, which a lot of time on Kiriko is the correct play. It is going for that early damage. But once like you're in that team fight where you just need to like, your team needs to settle and get healed up, that's when you can swap over to heals and go from there. I would Kitsune this pretty quickly. Like, right now. Like, right now. Like, you need to take this team fight. There you go. Good job. Going with your teammate. Totally fine so far. Pygon, thanks for the 16 months of tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you.
I feel all warm inside.
Yes, between the heals, but a lot of people will stop healing that. Okay. What do we got next? Now, their team actually has no ults right now. They had to reset there. So I want to see, like, what your team does wrong here to where it starts to fall apart, because they don't even have any ult advantage. Their ults are actually... Your ults are way better right now. At least in my opinion. Yeah, well, India Orisa had a broken keyboard for a second there. Yeah. Nice headshots. Oh, wait, this is good timing for damage. Right there, that's good timing for damage. Just so you know. Very good timing. Ah! Oh, no! Hey, no one saw that. No one saw that. Watch out with the Torbolt. There's a Torbolt right on the ground next to you. Be careful, you're gonna walk back into it. Ooh! Hey, I'm talking about your tank! Okay! So that, yeah, this is where everything's going well for your team. So play the same way. Oh, now you're starting to gravitate towards the bridge a little bit. Again. Okay. We'll see how it goes. Keep in mind, the majority of your team fights have been won back around the choke, not near the bridge. Obviously, you won that one, but you already won that team fight. What rank is this? This is gold 4. What? I mean, it's re-ult, though. It's almost expected at that point. You don't see that every day where a Genji falls off the map, right? So if you're wondering how you lost first point, well, you gave him a free pick, but you still have the opportunity to get back. Now, I want to see how your team handles this, because this is going to require some teamwork that involves not getting staggered, and your team is staggered. Good luck. Yeah, you're not getting the points. This is what happened. Exactly what we kind of talked about. You had a good start. Your teammates started to lose positioning, not play it well. Bad positioning leads to your team getting snowballed, and there goes first point. And yes, bad positioning also go. Oh, well, y'all didn't.
Ultimate's charging.
Bad positioning leads to a stagger, and then there you go. And yes, falling off the map as Genji is included in that.
My gift to you.
Don't need to cleanse that. Remember corners. I know you'll probably be fine, and you won't need your cleanse here. But like, think about that. There's no way they follow up on that. So don't cleanse randomly just to like cleanse. I mean, I feel like it's fun to do that. There's, you know what I think it is? I think like the hitting the cleanse button is really fun and it sounds cool. So sometimes you just have to hit the button because it's fun to do. So I get it. You're getting snowballed now, by the way. Position's gotten 10 times worse. Yeah, like, You said you always start off really good and then you lose games like this. It's all about refocusing after a team fight. You lost a team fight. Let's all go back to spawn. Let's regroup. Let's get in a good position. Instead, your team staggers. You fight low ground. Half your team fights high ground. Your Genji goes in for 1v1. You're throwing cleanses out like just randomly. Like, hey, here's a cleanse. You have a cleanse. You have a cleanse. And then now you're on third point. You see what happened? The moment your team started to like win more team fights, your position got worse. You gravitated towards them, and now you're on third point already, just like that. See?
Engaging enemy forces.
Best thing you can do, and this can obviously help if you're like in a 5-stack or something, just reset to the good position and every time. Or have a set plan. Set plans are a little bit more difficult, I feel like, in ranked. Like, even in like top 500 games, you don't get as many set plans as you would like. But you can definitely focus on good position after every team fight. Are you talking when the tank Arista ulted? I think they were just trying to hold the point. Now you're holding for third, which is fine. You can hold close here. I'm okay with this. Anytime you get them to ult from their spawn, you're in a good spot. Like that is just reset and ult pool, so you're fine there. It's what your team does next team fight that's going to be important. Regroup. Come on, team. Regroup. You can do it. Okay. Stop peeking. Stop peeking. Everybody here? Okay. Heal up your Mauga. Okay. Looks like your Mauga has gone under the assumption of not getting healed. Oh, and that Mauga is what we've talked about, where like players will just constantly just not let you heal them up completely. So you constantly fall behind on heals, but now your team is in deathmatch mode, and you're in deathmatch mode, so yeah, your Mauga's gonna get really low, and you're gonna have to use a cleanse you probably don't want to use here in a second. Yeah, I don't know why your Mauga's going in there, so good luck to you. Oh, they got a pick, so it worked out. Never mind. See? But yeah, if your team is going to take team fights like that, you're going to lose a team fight. Your Mauga's, yeah, that's not... That is... I will say that is a very aggressive tank. See, that's a tank that's going to let you know they need healing, and then they're going to fall over eventually and get mad at you for not healing it. Where's my heals? It's like, I've been healing you for 45 minutes. I can't catch up with the DPS passive. Dude, you got to keep me up there. I can't. I'm trying everything. Oh, no, you didn't. I watched you miss one shot. Why are you watching me miss a shot? What are you doing?
Appreciate it. Dodge this.
Here we go.
Soothe in your wounds. Let the Kitsune guide you.
Here we go. So far, so good. You Kitsune. I like that.
The battle ignites me.
Oh, if you get to a point where you win a team fight, it's okay to wait a second to heal up your teammates. Like, if you know, like, you're not gonna, like, lose it, because then you can build ult charge. You kind of did accidentally here. I don't know if you did it on purpose, but, like, look at your ult charge already after winning the team fight. So if you wait a little bit, you're in a good spot. Out of position again, by the way, your team, just in general.
My gift to you.
You know, it's funny, because you actually mentioned that you felt like it was your tank that was, like... I will say, it's been your Genji that's been getting picked off first for being really aggro. Like, your tank is really aggressive too, don't get me wrong, so I see that point of view also. But I feel like your Genji's been the one that overextends even more than the Mauga, which I thought was going to be impossible, but I think the Genji actually overextends more. And now look what happens. You're in overtime, your team is staggering. Now they're getting the team fight. This is what it is. Your positioning as a team gets worse. And the best thing you can do in those situations, let's say you have a Genji who always gets rolled, you either play aggressive with the team, or you just, like, let your team know, like, just regroup for a second. Regroup for a second. Give us a second here. Your team managed to regroup. It looks like you should be able to... Actually, I don't know. That res is huge. You gotta be good with this cleanse. Alright, worked. Soldier in front. Can't do anything about that, except trying to swift step out to your teammates. Yeah, this is interesting. I think you might... Okay, you're good. Okay, your teammate won that. Come on.
I found.
Here you go.
Oh man.
So anyway, yep. What made this tough for your team, though, was your teammate's position, and as the team fight goes, gets worse. And like I said, your tank is playing aggro for sure, but I think, like, I think your Genji's been playing a little bit over aggro, more than anything. Or maybe both of them are. I don't know. Good TP. Good job. Ping the Sojourn. Ping the Sojourn. Ping the Sojourn. Remember, when you're in death cam, this is the example of that, hit your ping button. You can ping the spot where you got rolled at. What's in the patch? We don't know, outside of what they told us in the blog post, so we'll see today. Making my way downtown. This song kind of works now, doesn't it? Spam damage in. Spam damage in. Good job. Keep spamming. Anything I want to see in the patch? Yeah, it's on your Doom, by the way. You can definitely help there, but like your Doom just went in. I don't know. That goes back to the same thing. You do well, then you lose your position. I just want to, I don't know, just changes that will help tank a little bit, but also not make other heroes like terrible. That's kind of where I want to see it, right? Like, I think finding the good like in between of that would be nice.
I want that payload moving.
Obviously, there's some heroes that could use buffs, other heroes that couldn't, right? Like, I think like tanks, I think people would. I'm trying to think of it now. Like, if I pause for a second, I feel like for tank heroes that you would want to see buffed is gonna be people are gonna say Rhine. Obviously, that's a Wrecking Ball's not gonna get any changes because they said they're doing like a season 10 or something change. Like, what tanks would even need buffs? Like, tanks that we know don't need buffs are like, what? Queen, Ramatra, Zarya. I'm gonna go with Doom here because Doom is pretty good outside of the bug fixes. Like, there's a lot of heroes that don't need buffs. It's more about like what they do elsewhere, right? Because like Ramatra's dominating right now, so Ramatra won't need that. Queen's good. I mean, there's not many tanks that like need over buffs. It's more like what do they do elsewhere to make tanks better, right? They need a hog buff? We'll see. I'm not sure what to expect. So they need survivability. Yeah, but how do you make it so they don't have too much survivability, etc.? There's a lot there. There's a Genji blade. Don't be afraid to cleanse. Nice cleanse. You just saved your Genji. Good job. Perfectly timed cleanse, by the way. That was very well done. Don't be afraid to Kitsune this, like, 2-1 now. Just win the team fight. You can over-ult to win this team fight if you need to. Don't do that now. Don't do that now. Good job. If you ulted that, I still would have been okay with it. Just so you know. That's a hindsight ult too. Like you didn't ult and it worked out perfectly. Nice job. You said nerf Genji? Oh no.
Join me.
It's okay to go to your team. You have one on cart. Your Genji's in their back line.
Payload's heading out.
Isn't it fun as a support when you get to see your teammates at low HP up there aggressively and you know you want to go help them, and then you also are in this balance of do you push the cart? Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Get off the cart at that point. One of the reasons why Kiriko is so good at pushing the cart, and you just did it, by the way. So one of the reasons why Kiriko is so good at pushing the cart is because you can get off of team fights. You have the decision to go and teleport to your teammates and help if you need. Sometimes that extra 5 meters you're going to get, 10 meters. Sometimes you have to get off the cart to go win the team fight, and then you push the cart. It's not ideal, because obviously the ideal, perfect picture, like how you do Overwatch, is that you have one on cart, you have 4 win a team fight, and you keep going. But at the same time, when you're in Kiriko, don't be afraid to go in there and make it a 5v5 or a 5v4. Use your ultimates and then make a play. Do you see what I'm saying? All right, here we go. You gotta use this Kitsune sooner than later, by the way. And what I mean by that is, like, you're waiting too long. I know your teammate's coming back, but, like, yeah, your Doom's dead there. Oh, they survived it. What have we always talked about when it comes to, like, Overwatch? At a certain point, you need to be proactive with your play. It doesn't mean, like, just throw your ultimate out the moment you get it. But, like, now, what was the difference there? They made a play with Torbolt. Your team didn't do anything. You lose the team fight. You go again. Right? Maybe you save Kitsune Blade. That can be up for debate. That's fine. But at a certain point, Kitsune is just such a good ultimate to use that you don't even need to use Kitsune Blade because Kitsune alone can win you team fights. You know what I'm saying? Adrian, thanks for the 15 months with the tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it.
Phone Kitsune.
Thank you. Yes, Ionic Grenade's getting a buff.
Let the Kitsune guide you.
Here we go. Shift out. So next time. Next time I want you to TP to your teammates out, not just Kitsune to the floor without looking. Just TP out. You'll survive that, and then you have cleanse after. It's going to be better to have cleanse after than it's going to be not using your TP. Just don't even. It's not even a mistimed Suzu. You shouldn't even be Suzu in that situation when you can get out easily. Obviously, there's going to be scenarios, but like none of your teammates are in that. So regroup. Don't stagger. We've talked about this with your team. Your team has no problem getting a limbs, it's just they just stagger so hard and get out of position after a one team fight that you don't even give yourself an opportunity to win. You probably heard me mention on stream, like, you're not giving yourself an opportunity to win because your team is just constantly getting like 5 limbs and then just overextend. YouTube stream will be live soon. I can put it on after this when I record the next one if that works. Yep, on your team. Oh, wait, at a certain point, though, you can also look away from your teammate. Focus. Good TP. I will say, one thing that happens, too, is when things get a little bit wild in a team fight, you start to lose focus of where you want to go and you start to look elsewhere. So you ended up, like, looking at 3 different things, when in reality, if you focus on one thing there, you probably can get in a limb or, like, keep one of your teammates alive, which will result in a better play. That's also, at this point, you probably don't want to stagger too long, so if you and your BAP don't get out here, you're actually going to stagger pretty hard, so just be careful of falling off the map. Holy crap, that was close.
Ultimate's charging.
That was really close.
Let me balance you out.
Hey, remember, Kitsune, right away, please. Right now, just use it. Right there, at that angle. That angle goes right through, your teammates will benefit from it. Just, that's fine. I just want to see you be more proactive with it. You're waiting for the team fight to start too long to be able to do something. Just use it. Oh, it's just tough. Damn. That's a toughie for you, and I'll explain why in a second. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if this actually ends up being one of those games that when you finish it, it actually says that it was, you were predicted to win this game. Now, I don't know if that was actually the case, but the major problem for you here, right, is that, one, what happens is your team constantly does well in a team fight and then gets out of position. That's it. Like, it happens so much in Overwatch. Like, one thing you can do, obviously, if everybody's in the chat or you're working together, you're in a 5-stack, is just always remember to refocus on the next team fight and reset to where you're winning at, right? Don't just keep getting out of position more and more over time. And when you do that, it's going to be tough. So what ends up happening there is your team does well, and then you go and push too far. You become indecisive. You don't use your ultimates aggressively. You run into their spawn. You feed. You win a team fight, rinse and repeat. Right? What needs to happen here is you need to get your team just to not overextend as much as they are. And if they are overextended, then at a certain point, you just got to join them and see if that works too. Because there was a lot of team fights that were very close, but because you were so kind of like in this like 50-50 spot of where you want to play, I always talk about playing at the pace of your teammates. That was one of those situations where you stopped playing at the pace of your teammates and you kind of just got stuck on cart the whole time and nothing was happening. At a certain point, you just need to be like, okay, this is how we're playing. Well, we're playing this way. And then your team might actually win that because you're contributing to their aggression that they're playing at. But it's hard to say. I will say, you said it was your tank. I think it was like your tank and your Genji. And your indecisiveness, all of that added in, is how you lose a game like that where it feels like it was very winnable. But yeah, that's what I noticed. So you got to just kind of improve in that area a little bit. I think it'll be fine. Obviously, it's easier said than done in a ranked game. Because getting your teammates all on the same page is difficult to begin with, but then getting everybody to understand, like, let's just reset for a second is also difficult. So that's how I see it. If you like this video, make sure to the like button, subscribe to all 3 YouTubes if you haven't. If you want to submit your own spectating, if you look in the description below, that's my Discord. You can do that. Also, leave a comment. What heroes you want to see, maps, random stuff in general. Leave a comment. We also record these live on stream. If you look below the webcam, you can see my Twitch chat. We have a lot of fun here. Stop by if you haven't. With that being said, hope you have an amazing day /night.